Hey guys, we're back for episode 11.
11? Oh, we didn't do last time. We're like double digits now. Like we have too many, like not enough fingers to say how many episodes we've done.
That's out of fingers. That's amazing.
Now we can
start our
toes.
toes.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. I
Not
need
really.
stretchy
Gross.
pants to do that. Okay, today we are talking about homeschooling through
Elementary school.
Oh my gosh, we should make like a Sherlock Holmes like reference. It's elementary.
Oh, it's elementary, my dear Watson.
Go for it, Karen.
We just did it. That was good enough.
That's good enough. Okay, I'll start. Okay, welcome back to episode 11 called
Hey guys.
Homeschool.
Glad to have you back and be back.
Yes, today is awesome. It's a beautiful day. We have had so much rain recently. We live in a desert.
Yeah, it's been raining for about a month straight here though. So we are
Yes.
happy for some sunshine outside.
Yes, and the pool opened today, just so you know.
I
Yes.
still need to get my pass.
Please do.
I will.
Because you need to come with me. We are just loving your nice reviews and ratings and subscribings. You guys are the greatest. So we want to give a shout out to another nice review we had.
This is from Bond219 and it's titled So Helpful. She says, "Thank you so much. I'm just starting out on our homeschool journey and I'm so grateful for your insights. They help my own confidence and excitement for our new adventure rise."
Ooh, so exciting. That's a fun new adventure.
It really is. You're going to love it.
It's terrifying and exciting, all wrapped into one.
So true, so true. So today we're going to talk about, as Meg mentioned, elementary school. And we always think we don't have a lot to say on the topic, but we might get a little wordy again.
Yeah, so then we thought, well, maybe we need to individualize it for like younger grades and older grades of elementary because it is a huge span. You're looking at about 6 to 7 years.
Kindergartners are a lot different than 5th and 6th graders. So it kind of varies. So we may circle back on this topic, but today we're going to try and cover, the broad spectrum of elementary homeschooling.
Yes, and so in Utah, elementary goes up to 6th grade, but I know out of Utah, a lot of times it goes up to 5th grade.
Yeah, that's how it was in Florida where I lived.
Okay, but it's probably the large amount of children we have in this area.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's because of school availability.
So we may reference, just know when we say 6th graders, for us it is elementary, but for you or in your area, it could be middle school,
junior high. It all kind of varies.
But when you're homeschooled, you can call them whatever grade you want.
So true, yeah. And I do have a 6th grader this year, and she just asked me, "Am I in middle school?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. If you want to be." So that was kind of funny. But yeah, so we're going to try and cover K through 6th, about that range right now, and let you know kind of what we're doing with them.
It's way fun. I have 3 currently in elementary.
I've got 2. Well, I guess 3 now because my preschooler is technically done.
Yes.
So I've got kindergarten 3rd and 7th is what we'll have this upcoming school year. So 2
out. Yeah. That's fun.
1 out and 1 in.
Yeah. And so it's a really fun time to homeschool.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of playing and exploring still. It's building upon if you listened to preschool last week, and we talked a lot about just playing with them, they already love learning, just to keep that passion, that momentum going.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of just doing that, and then it's a big transition period because by the time they're 12, you are hoping they're independent learners, starting to find their passion. So that's why it's such a broad range.
Right. So when you're starting out with a kindergartner, it's going to be very parent intensive and very parent focused because they can't read well, they can't do any of these things on their own yet. You're really teaching them the very basics of learning and how to learn. And so it's going to be a wide range. And my goal, as Meg also said, is by the end of this time period to have them be independent learners and self-focused on what they want to learn.
Yes, and so we're in the middle of that. So my little guy, I think, he just wrapped up 2nd grade, right?
Yes,
it's the same as yours.
The same, yeah.
And he can do some of his school on his own, and some of it we do together. And as he goes, I just keep transitioning, like, which one of these subjects do you want to take on for next year? And math is one of the ones he wants to do on his own, which is funny because most kids are like, I don't want to do math on my own.
Mine does math on his own too.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Because we have a computer program that they're doing it, and so it really is, he watches a little video and then he completes them, and if he needs help he calls me, but he does it on his own.
That's awesome, yeah. So if Briggy gets stuck, then he just knows when we meet together for a minute with Mom that he's going to come with this math worksheet.
So this is, it's going to be a gradual process from kindergarten through 6th or 5th grade, wherever yours ends their elementary journey. But over that time frame, you're going to slowly be giving them a little more responsibility and a little more ownership of their education. But in that process also, you still want them feeling that love of learning.
And keeping that passion alive. Instead of bombarding them with, oh great, you're 10 now, you should be studying, and here's this gigantic laundry list.
So, and ways to do that, I think letting them, we've talked about how we both like to let our kids choose the books that they're going to be reading. You give them sort of a collection of ones to choose from, but you let them pick, okay, I want to read this book for my history book this year, or whatever it is, the literature books.
And I think there are even studies of being bombarded with over choice. And so we talk about it with like a little kid who dresses themselves, but it's church, and you're like, I need you to actually wear a clean dress, right? So it's, do you want to dress A or dress B? Right. And so you're kind of doing that same philosophy, because if you just said, you can learn anything you want, it may be overwhelming.
It can be completely overwhelming, especially if you look at my bookshelf. It's very overwhelming. So there's just too many choices. So what I'll typically do is I'll pick out a selection of, this is your level, and this is the topic I want you learning on, but you get to choose from this collection of books. And they love that, because they really feel like they're making a choice. And because they chose it, they're going to enjoy it more. And it's not forced upon them.
Right, like I picked this, and it's been interesting with my 6th grader. He picked some really advanced books, and they're over his level. And so I let them decide what they want to do. Like, do you want to push through with it, or would you like to buy a new book? Especially if I've bought a book. And so sometimes Joshie says, I'll pay for one. Or sometimes they'll say like, I picked it, I'll finish it. And so it really gives them ownership of like, this book, I don't understand what I'm reading, it doesn't make sense to me. I actually really enjoy biography was one. So Thomas Jefferson, he picked a book. It is an adult level book. And he goes, today he talked about ratifying a bill. I don't know what that means. And so he goes, I really wanted to know about his childhood. And so we have those books.
The Childhood of Famous Americans.
Yes, and I have 2 copies of that in my bookcase. So he goes, I'd rather read this one, and I can get it done.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
So it is this huge, awesome period of, what do you want your education to look like, but mentoring them and guiding them through the process.
I let them choose, the science topic they want to study that year, and I let them choose, the artists that they're interested in learning about, or the composers they want to learn about, things like that. We all kind of as a family will choose together. And also at this age, you can really let them start exploring things that they are just passionate about, things that they truly love. They can read more books or do more things on that topic.
And also with the passions, I think you can find, since I have kids who love the arts, that they can find things that they enjoy with the arts. So painting. So there's the cutest program. Oh my gosh. It's a cute little artist. And she has a little YouTube channel. Well, I'll have to just add it to the show notes.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
I know, it's so adorable. My daughter keeps buying with her own money, like her little art projects and kits. Cool. And her paintings have become amazing. And so it's been fun to say, like, in the Good and the Beautiful curriculum that we both use for language arts, we'll have art projects throughout it. And hers are awesome now.
That's cool.
Like, doesn't look like chicken scratches
yes, that's so neat to see that develop.
Yes.
And I think this time it's a really important thing to just help them gain confidence and self-worth. Because if they're not feeling like they're worthy or they're good enough in their school, because they're constantly being told, that's not enough, or it's not, you didn't spell that right, or you didn't, whatever, but instead, build them up and help them develop that.
Yes, and one of the things I learned the hard way, as you usually do, is you need to make sure you're praising them for their effort. Instead of saying, oh my goodness, you're amazing at math. Because then one day, math gets hard, and then a lot of times kids take it like, well, I'm stupid now. I used to be good at math because it was easy for me, but now math is hard.
And now I'm stupid. Yeah.
Right. And so then they internalize it, well, I'm stupid and why try? And then you have to figure out how to solve that problem. Instead, if you're praising them for their effort when math gets hard, like, remember, you've done this before. When things get hard, you know what to do because you're a hard worker. And hard workers know how to figure this out, right? And then it's like, okay, it is hard, but I do know how to figure this out.
Right.
and you get much greater results instead of like, I'm a great reader, I'm smart. Like, I know how to learn. I enjoy reading.
Right.
And kind of changing their mindset with that.
Yeah, so and during these, we've kind of touched on this a little bit, there are some things that they can do entirely on their own, you know, maybe handwriting or something like that, that they, the younger ones particularly, can do entirely on their own, and then you're going to give them subjects that they can work on independently, and those things are going to gradually increase. The amount that they do and the level of what they're learning is going to increase as they get older, maybe longer time commitments of how much time they read or study this subject. But also, they're not going to have complete responsibility yet because they're still young. So you can't really just expect a third grader to do all their school on their own and actually do it all and get it all right. They really do need you still. They really need you checking in on them and making sure things are correct and that they're actually doing the work. Both of us have had kids that have pretended to do their schoolwork for a long period of time. Quite well. For a long period of time, and we believed them. And then suddenly when you finally check in and see that they have not, it can be really disheartening as a parent.
Yeah.
So know that they still need that, and they're still young, and they still need mom's help.
They do, and it's awesome, and it's fun. I love the Minute with Mom is something that has been huge for us, and it really has been about forming those relationships with us, with each other. And I love my Joshie had to write in language arts. He had to write an essay. And his whole thing was about if he could get me to laugh or not. That's his favorite thing to do, if he can get me to laugh. Like sometimes my mom gives a compliment, a forced smile because she wants to be polite. But if I can make her laugh, like that's my favorite thing to do.
That's cute.
You know, and so you're really building these awesome relationships because you're getting them ready for the teenage years. And so I really, as I'm about to have my fourth teenager, like it's so important to have that solid foundation of a relationship.
Yeah, I was thinking about that with my oldest, who's 14. And he and I just had this beautiful relationship, and I really feel like it's due to, you know, the home atmosphere that we've had and being able to study and learn these things together. We have so much in common and so much related to each other because of this, and it's built just this beautiful relationship over time, and I love it. I love it so much.
Well, that's what yesterday I wanted to get some stuff done, and my 16-year-old said, please come cuddle with me. Just cuddle with me before I go to work, right? But then they actually have, I was thinking about this, when you have a little one, and so Karn's Millie is hilarious and all over the place, right? She's a busy little girl. She's so cute. But Karn can say like, Millie drew all over the wall, and you don't think bad about Karn, and you don't think bad about Millie. But as they become teenagers, their topics are heavier. They have issues of depression or suicide, pornography, swearing. You know what I mean? Like the issues are bigger, and so, like, can you speak with your kid? Have you built this relationship where they can say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this. Do you have this foundation built with them?"
Yeah, that's so good.
And these are, I guess, elementary is really that time.
It's the time you're building that trust.
Building it.
Yeah, so that they know that they can come to you and trust you. So it's relational is huge during this time.
And you can, like, if you have a good relationship with somebody, you can teach them anything. And it makes it...
And they'll believe anything.
Sorry. I hope you're not lying, too.
No,
is that where your daughter learned it? No, I'm just kidding.
Totally joking. All right, so also in this time period, we need to talk or teach them the value of work.
Yes.
Not just schoolwork, but housework is a huge part of both of our homeschools, because when you're a busy mom homeschooling your kids, you need a lot of help from your kids.
Yes.
So that is a huge part of our regular day, and I feel like it's a huge part of things that kids need to learn. It's maybe not a school subject, but a very critical skill that kids need during this time.
Yes, and when I see people posting like adulting is so hard and all these things are so hard, I think, oh my gosh, like, did you not learn how to budget your money or wash your own clothes or grocery shop and all these awesome things that I've been really putting forth a lot of effort.
Adulting is so easy for Megan.
Well, I mean, like, it speaks to me in volumes. So easy. Whatever, I still want to hire a cleaner, so if anybody wants trade work.
No, but really,
like, that's what I want to teach my kids, and this is the time I'm teaching them.
Yes, and teaching them how to do the chores well, not just saying go clean your room, but teaching them the value of like, okay, first we start with straightening out our closet and putting our shoes in matching pairs, and then we make our bed, and then we, you know, whatever it is that they need to learn, those skills, not just be told to go and do.
Yes, and showing it, and it's so funny. We call them mom tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get stuck, I go, "Oh, what a wonderful opportunity!" And I gather everybody around, and I make like a pretend YouTube tutorial. And so we've done like how to put the Tupperware away in the Tupperware bin instead of just shoving it all in so it all falls out.
Yep.
Like the big one goes on the bottom, and then the least
gradually
goes in, right? And we do it. We've done it with our rooms, and we've done it with bathrooms, like the tutorial of how to scrub a shower. And then they may forget, and I go, it's okay, we'll do another tutorial. And sometimes they don't want another tutorial, so they'll do better work because they know,
smart.
Like, is it approved or is it mom approved?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I say to my kids when they tell me they finished cleaning their room. I say, is it to mom standards or your standards? And they're like, okay, I'll go clean it some more.
Give me 20 minutes, then come check it. So we've been talking a lot about kind of the relationship, building with your child. But let's talk about some of the details of what elementary logistically looks like, and maybe some of the curriculum and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. So what I do with my kids is I have a daily checklist. So for instance, Monday you do math, you do language arts, you do science, you give them just like their daily list of the things that they're expected to do for that day. And each day it's going to vary because we don't do every subject every day. And so they have their checklist that they have to complete during that day, their school checklist. We also have a similar system for our chores. And so, I mean, I don't really give them a specific time or an order that they have to do these things in. It's really just like, finish your list today. Is your list done? And they know that, and we're really flexible on timing and everything like that. And typically we start 8:30 or 9, just depending on how early they get up. I don't wake my kids in the morning, I let them just wake. And we start with a devotional, and we do that around breakfast, around the table, and we do a hymn, a prayer, read a little scripture passage, and we'll do a little book. We're reading a book on manners right now, and trying to think of what else we covered during this. Oh, that's when we do our Greek and Latin roots. It's not devotional, but it's just we're together, so we do it. And that's the gist of it. I'll pull out, I have some art cards that I'll pull out, and we'll just do an artist picture each day. And that's what we do in the morning. And then they go and they do their independent stuff that they can work on, and for a period of time. And about maybe 10:30, they're ready for just a break. And so they'll just all kind of run outside for a little bit, have a snack, 20 minutes or so. Again, not really like scheduled or set in stone, anything like that, but it's just sort of the routine. And then they hop back in and finish up what they can until lunch. Lunch is our gather again and do read alouds and whatever subject, history or science of the day, artist or composer, that kind of thing is done during that time period as well.
That's awesome.
We're usually done 1 to 2 to 4, depending on the kid and the day.
That's fun. Yeah, I'm a little similar as far as we have a checklist I have a checklist for all the kids. And I actually even give them how long they need to read. Okay. Because mine would just keep reading. Oh, and they get
mine
into
will do that sometimes too. Yeah.
And so they get into a book, especially their literature books. They really like it. Or Tess is reading The Hiding Place right now with Corey Ten Boom, which is so good. And so if I don't give them like a cutoff time, then what they do is they read one good book all day long and they don't get to anything else. And then you feel kind of bad, like, oh, you just read for 6 hours. Well, here's 2 more hours of work.
Do all the rest of your list.
Yes. Yeah. So when I added a time frame for them, it helps them mentally know, like, oh, if I just focus, school will be done in 2.5 hours or 3 hours or whatever their schedule calls for. Yeah. But I wake my kids up right at 7:45. Those two have slept in. But just Monday through Friday, so we can do scriptures with Dad. And that was the time that my husband we could all commit to 7:45. We've discussed a time we could all meet. So we do scriptures and prayers then, and then do our chores and eat breakfast and people go. The big kids don't do subject of the day with us anymore.
Yeah, my oldest doesn't either.
Okay, yeah. So we do our subject of the day, read aloud, and then I dismiss mine for independent learning, and I start my Minute with Mom rotation.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, when I'm done with Minute with Mom, I'm done. And if they need me, I can help that day, but usually they know if they get stuck, then we'll help them the next day during their Minute with Mom.
Oh, okay.
And so that there's always a way to have access to me. Some moms don't mind their kids coming to them all the time, but I'm like, woo, I do need a turn off button. Like,
well, you do have 7 of them. So.
I do. So like 7 people are like, Mom, guess what? I'm like, oh, okay, save this for Minute with Mom tomorrow. It'll be awesome. But our Minute with Mom time is very precious, and we do work really hard with the younger kids to not interrupt. Sometimes the older kids. Is this important? And then can it wait? We ask them those questions, and they're like, well, it kind of is important, and I don't know if it can wait. And I go, give me the subject, like cereal, and I'm like, that one can wait. So,
cereal.
But that's just a really great time when they get stuck on math. We can do those types of things together, so that they always know, like, Mom, this isn't working for me. I don't understand it. Can we do this tomorrow during Minute with Mom?
Oh, yeah.
So they always know they can do it with me. So I'm actually usually done teaching by 11:30, and then they're done when they're done. And so sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 1.
Yeah.
That's kind of the short, like the very condensed version of elementary. Like we said, we're combining kindergarten to 6th grade into one episode.
It's pretty broad. Did we already talk about our curriculum that we used in one of them? Because I did kind of write that out, but I couldn't remember if we already talked about it.
I think we did 100 different ways to homeschool.
Oh, that's right. We did.
And so we did talk about our curriculum. And like I said in the last episode, if you want some help picking books, hit me up. Send me an email. Let's chat. And because I know, especially when you're starting, it can feel overwhelming.
It really is overwhelming because there's so many choices. So it's nice to know, like, tried and true methods that moms are using continuously. You know, like for me, if I know I've used it for 2 or 3 years in a row, that's a good one.
Oh, I know what I was going to add with this too, is as I do have so many kids, and I think I'm so good at this. I'm teaching the subject like a pro, like bring it on, I'm amazing, and then my next kid comes and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so being completely willing to adapt, drop a curriculum, and try something new.
Yeah, that's an important thing.
Yes, that some kids do. So my Joshy hates art. Like, he's a math man. He's math and science speaks to him. But if he has to draw or color something, he goes, oh, please don't make me do this. But my sweet Tess, she would paint all day long.
I know, I have kids like that too. I have one that's really into art and one that would just rather never see it again. So,
so I expose Joshua to good art and expose him to good music.
Don't make him do it.
But I don't make him paint. And I don't make him compose music. I don't make anybody compose music. But being very willing to be adapting and flexible, and as soon as you think that you are just killing it, you're going to have another kid who's going to teach you that you're not. And then you learn how to be awesome with each kid and individualize their education, because that's the perk of homeschooling, is individualized education.
Yep, so true. Well, great, good tip.
Okay, so that felt like so much information, and I feel like we could have talked about every grade individually.
Feel free to ask us questions, email us. I guess we don't have a call to homeschool email.
We don't have a call to homeschool
either
email.
of our websites. You can contact us at Teach Beside Me or the
or send us a DM
or on Instagram. We're there. You can ask us any questions, or connect with Meg if you want to have help creating your schedule.
Yes, and Karen,
I've got a lot of book lists and things on my website as well.
And awesome printables. So many great printables.
So connect with us if you have any questions or need a little more help, or you're still feeling totally lost. We get it. We've been there.
We have been there, and we know there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep. And you've got this. You can take it.
You guys do. All right, you lovely ladies. We will talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.